Lee, firstly, we have to start with the open training session today. How much did you enjoy being out there and seeing the fans?
Yeah, I loved it. It'd be great to do that every day, just to put something on every training session. And listen, whenever fans are there, it actually always gives the lads just that a little bit more intensity, a little bit more of a thrill when they score. A lot of good defending and good crossing and good finishing was clapped today, and that was really nice. But the biggest factor was just enabling us and to mingle with the fans. It was really nice. A load of kids, obviously they're off school, and the parents have brought them here, really well behaved, and I think they enjoyed on a lovely day what was a good interaction both with players and fans.
Yeah, there were so many young supporters in the stadium today watching. The lads are an inspiration, aren't they, to them?
They are, and it's so nice, one little problem must have been 8 or 9, turned around and was like, this is the best day of my life. And it's probably not, but it's amazing that he's just thinking like that today, and the fact that he's met all his idols, his heroes, and the fact that they've been so nice back. So it really works both ways, and that after the weekend it's been difficult for us. So to come in, change the environment, come down to the stadium, to feel our Hibs family are with us, if you like, becomes really important.
Yeah, I was going to ask how that helped, obviously, after what was a difficult week, like you say, coming here, changing the environment, being around the supporters. How does that help reset a player's mindset?
Yeah, listen, we're reset, but it obviously helps, any sort of love and support you get from family, and like I say, that's our Hibs family, then it puts you in the right mindset to move forward. We want to do very well for this football club, and this football club is its fan base. It's as simple as that. And I think that when you see the look in these boys, girls, parents, grandparents' eyes when you have an interaction with them, you feel that connection, and that connection inevitably is what you're fighting for and what you're fighting to keep.
I can imagine now, after being with the fans, spending a bit of time with them and training out on the pitch, obviously too, there's a real buzz and excitement ahead of Friday evening.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I say, Saturday's now gone and we move forward to Friday. It's a game that we really, really want to win for a number of reasons. It's got that historic element with the VAR and the first game in Scottish football to be under those circumstances. And not only that, I think there's a bit of a capacity crowd coming in, a few little entertainment surprises here and there. And it's something that we're obviously focused on getting the result and the performance, but we want to be a part of the good vibe that can be Friday night.
Yeah, let's speak about VAR then. How will that change things for you and the players on Friday night?
It's going to be interesting, and it will be different. We've got to make sure that we're vigilant, we see everything through in an attacking sense, we defend everything to the end. And that we're very careful with any off-the-ball scenarios, whether it be blocking from corners or tackles. You've got to be careful. We don't want to not be full-blooded, you know what I mean? But you've got to make sure that the ball's there to be won, and not get it wrong, because when you slow it down, it often looks worse than it is in real time.
Have you had to do anything differently in the build-up, knowing that VAR's come in terms of coaching the players, like you say, in terms of the blocking in particular?
Yeah, it's definitely something that we've discussed. Obviously, it was a relatively late shout in terms of that the VAR was coming in for this particular game. So we've only had 3 or 4 training sessions, but previously we started to implement the fact that strikers go and finish even if they're offside, defenders try and recover. If there's any handball or anything that looks precarious before a goal scored, we'll question it and potentially pull it back. We've got some new IP cameras being put into the training ground, which is great because that can then get a live feed, and we could take a little telly out pitch side and start to do our own versions of that. So it will be a very different game than we've experienced here before. But what we don't want to do is lose the flow and lose the passion, and that's the challenge, not just for us but for the officiating team.
Yeah, absolutely. And one game obviously this season where there was a lot of passion was the end of the opening day of the season when we beat St Johnstone. Have they changed much since that game?
No, I think they've obviously improved like all the teams have, in terms of working with each other They've picked up some good wins and good points, good results. They've got an abundance of players now up to sort of match speed, but as has everybody else. So I think it's a game that is a tough game, of course, but it's a game that we need full focus on ourselves and our own qualities, and to think about what we have got rather than what we haven't got, if you know what I mean. And that's certainly the way I'll be picking the team.
Yeah, and also obviously we're looking to continue our unbeaten run at home too. Being here, like you say, where there's a little bit of excitement around the game, a sold out crowd at Easter Road, again, just kind of spur the lads on, won't it?
Yeah, we hope so. And it's not a pressure for us. That bit's the privilege, to be able to have sell-out crowds is exactly what we wanted. I know there's a bit of a special offer on, and that's great, but that special offer's there to maximise. We want these supporters and fan base to come back and be with us because they trust that, like I say, the product on the pitch is going to be full-blooded, and we do everything we can to get the result.
Absolutely. And just finally, team news, how are we looking? Anyone coming back? Anyone missing out?
There's a lot of positives. You can see obviously Nizzy training on a regular basis, but not quite ready in terms of a medical sense, but he's certainly getting up to speed very well, which we're happy with. Dimitri Mitchell now back in, Melkerson recovered fully, Lewis Miller and Bojang are the ones that will miss out the weekend, and then we've got a couple of bumps and bruises from the Saturday game that we'll have to assess probably tomorrow or Thursday.
Super, Lee. Thank you very much for speaking to us.
Thank you. Cheers.